welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you the art portfolio that got me into SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design, and SAIC, Savannah Art Institute of Chicago. I'm still waiting for my response for RISD, Rhode Island School of Design, but I did do a pre-college there, so I'm not saying that's gonna increase my chances of getting in, but I did do a lot of the pieces that I put in my portfolio in RISD. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll update on that one. I'm just going to be basically showing you my piece and then reading the description, and I will also be adding a picture, obviously, of the piece, the description on the side, the size, media, and everything that they want you to include in your US art portfolios if this is something that you're watching so that you can do yours. First piece is called Where Trust Begins, and this was made in 2025. The sizes are 16 by 12 inches. It was made by oil paint on canvas, and the description is the following. I capture the moment of intimacy between a rider and a horse. I emphasize the legs, the horse's snout, the rider's boots, and the stirrups. This shifts attention to the foundation of their bond: rhythm, movement, and the trust in each other. Horses and humans have formed a partnership during many centuries in war, sport, travel, labor, and care. Here, the stirrup becomes a symbol of balance and the unspoken reliance two beings have. These animals have always been a man's best friend, not only in sentiment, but also in the daily physical bond, inspired by Der Blonde Reiter's Blue Horse. Next, this was called False Apex. It was made in 2025, 33 by 24 inches, mixed media, so I used fabric, paper, PVA glue, photographs, and this is the description. Human ribs stand next to bones of animals, exposed, hollow, no different from the others. Inside the ribs, animal skeletons intertwine and fight to dominate the piece. If you strip away the flesh, the myth of human superiority collapses. This college reveals the truth. We are alike, not above. Bones don't lie, they don't rank, they are all the same. This piece is inspired by Man Ray's Les Fils de Noix collage. Okay, piece 3. This was made with white chocolate black paper. It's called Cradle to Slaughter, and it was made in 2024, so a year earlier when I was in grade 11, because I do the IB program. And this is the description. Drawn in white on black, this piece shows contrast between symbolic innocence and implied violence. A child is cuddling a cow, depicting a soft and tender moment, but above them hang pieces of meat, exposing the truth of the growing mass slaughter of livestock. This work confronts the rupture between children's love and empathy and adult conditioning. We are taught to love animals as children, but then consume them without thought, now that we have more mouths to feed. Inspired by Leonora Carrington's Cow in Dakshala. Oh guys, I'm actually not good at reading out loud. Okay, so far, the first 3 pieces that I've shown all have different mediums, but my primary medium in this portfolio is oil. That doesn't mean that I have like a very small variety. I actually have a large variety of mediums, so that's something that you should think of including. Range of mediums. This one is a raw figure. It was basically an observational study. It's 24 by 36 inches, oil paint on canvas, and this is the description. This piece is an observational study I painted of a nude model that was posing in an art session. I used warm and dramatic lighting to emphasize the rawness and strength of the human figure. Not much to it. Not every single one of your pieces has to have meaning. Just make sure that you try to at least aim for some meaningful pieces, some pieces that show your talent or technique, because they want to see technique, and just like a variety of styles in general. The title is I Want Haute Couture. It was made in 2024, so when I was 17 in grade 11, and it's 47 by 37 inches. This is the description. Poaching has become a great issue in modern society due to the increasing demands of luxury products like the Birkin bag. This final piece is made in ink, illustrating a crocodile surrounded by purses, showing the harmful commercial hunting crocodiles go through in order to satisfy the demand of consumers. The artist reference chosen is Alfonso Dunn, who makes ink pieces with mark making. Piece 6. Fun fact about this piece, it was unfinished. Not on purpose, but because the finished version that I have is uglier in my opinion, and I preferred it unfinished. So I rolled with that, and I decided to emphasize the fact that it was unfinished, because it's a picture of it, right? So it was a process picture really, but you know, I ended up liking this process picture better than the final one. So the title is Becoming, and it was made in 2025 this summer, 24 by 18 inches, oil paint on canvas, and this is the description. This self-portrait is an exploration between identity and process. The pink underpainting deliberately shows through, leaving parts of the figure incomplete as a way to portray the parts of my identity that tend to stay hidden to others, the layers of complexity and the process of who I am. It highlights the unfinished nature of self-perception and how we are always in a state of becoming, never fully completed. Okay, common people. This next one is literally combined sketches that I have in my sketchbook of people, and all put together with Photoshop. Generally, this was not hard to make. It was literally just taking a bunch of faces that I've done all throughout the year and essentially put them together and made up a theme, because I was like, I want to show that I can draw in pencil, I want to show a different kind of medium, and I want to show that I can draw realistically. So I named it Common People, 2025, 16 by 17 inches, graphite on paper and Photoshop, and this is the description. Common People is a compilation of portraits I've drawn in my sketchbook throughout 2 months. Each person might have their own story. You might recognize one, but together they are just human. This piece highlights how insignificant we might be. Just faces, just people. I kind of invented that too, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there wasn't really any meaning behind this. It was just sketches, like practice sketches that I do of other people that I find on Pinterest, or singers that I like, actors that I like, etc. This is oil painting. It's plein air, so essentially I had to paint it with the scenery in front of me. So I was outside when I painted this, and we had to do this in a class, but I ended up putting it in my portfolio because it shows a different kind of drawing. It's not people or animals, it's actually a landscape, you know, it's a building. So I thought that this would be interesting so that I could add a little bit more diversity to my portfolio. And yeah, so this was made in 2025, 12 by 16 inches, oil paint on canvas, and then this is the description. Really simple. This is a plein air painting done at the Rhode Island School of Design Woods Gary House on campus while I attended a pre-college painting course there. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. That's literally it. Also, by reference, a lot of unis ask like minimum 15 pieces, maximum 20. I went for 16 because, to be fair, I didn't have any more. If you have more, that's a good idea. But also don't try to do 20. If you don't have 20 good ones, it's not worth it. I just had 16 good ones because I had some more, but it was not good at all. Nothing to do with the stuff I have in here, so I didn't add it. If you have 20 good ones, sure. I wouldn't aim for 20. I would aim for like 17 probably. Next one is fish face. This is actually a sketch from my sketchbook. So, you know, you can add pretty much anything as long as it works and it shows your technique. Okay, it was made in 2024, 4.7 by 8.6 inches, colored pencil. This is the description. Fish face is a playful portrait that explores self-image and expression through distortion and humor. The brightly rendered fish contrasts with a close-up exaggerated facial expression. This combination mirrors the awkwardness of trying to present oneself authentically while under scrutiny. The vibrant colors evoke the environment of an aquarium, a space of display which echoes a tension between self-perception and performance. I really liked this sketch. I thought it showed a different medium that was also very interesting, colored pencil. And, you know, I also had a lot of fun things going on here. Like, I just really enjoy the background, the diversity of all the fishes and the colors and the shapes, and the fact that the 2 pages connect, which I thought was really interesting. So I wanted to add that to make sure that they could see that I like to play with layouts and stuff like that. Next one is a master copy of Monet, made in 2025 this summer, 12 by 16 inches, oil paint on canvas. An oil paint master copy of Manet's painting titled The Monet Family in Their Garden, made in 1874. To show that I can copy other art styles too if I wanted to. I don't know. I just added it in there because I liked it. I really no reason. It's like this combination thing. Okay, originally I was gonna apply to the UK for architecture. So I have a lot of architectural sketches. These 2 were the most artistic architectural sketches that I had. So I decided to add them to add a little bit more diversity and show that I could do abstract stuff too. But the first one is called Rhythm. It's made in 2025, 10 by 10 inches, India ink. And conceptual representation of the Slot Canyon rock formations typically found in the American Southwest. I used various forms of mark making and density of lines to create motion and flow within the composition. The grooves and divots of these formations are similar to the rhythm. the pattern in a song that provides seamless and steady movement. I basically wanted to focus rock formations and turn them into musical concepts. So like, for example, the first one is rhythm and then the second one is bass, because to me that's what they look like visually. If I were to listen to a rhythm or to listen to a bass, that is what I would imagine. Next one is bass, obviously a little bit the same. Bass is a conceptual representation of the limestone rock formations typically found on the coast of Spain and Greece. The layers are organically made and vary in size to represent the raw geological formations. Different patterns were used to create lights and shadow as well as detail. The strong crests and troughs of these formations are similar to a bass, a solid formation that sets the tone for other parts in the song, providing an atmosphere for composition and making it complete. Pretty much the same idea. Next was blended. This is super fun. This was really fun for me. It was part 2 of this architectural kind of idea. I basically got paper and I formed bass and rhythm into paper sculptures, and then I put them next to each other. So that's what blended is. I'm going to read the description, but it was basically made by paper and PVA glue, 20 by 10 inches, 2025, and this is the description. Blended is a diptych of 2 3D paper sculptures made out of mixed media paper inspired by the earlier pieces, rhythm and bass, which are conceptual takes on geological formations around the world. This piece is a representation of them combined, forming a blend between the 2 foundations of a melody. Beautiful, great, simple. This was a very last-minute addition to my portfolio because I didn't know if it had enough detail or technique to add, but I thought it would be interesting. And since I only had 15 pieces, I wanted to add something else so it looked like, you know, add a little bit more. So this is called Eagle Eye. It was made in 2024, 5 by 5 inches. Literally, this was an experimentation for my art class. I didn't really do anything with it, so I'm so glad I did it because I could add it to my portfolio. Different kind of medium completely. I have never done anything like this before. It's thread on fabric, and this is the description. The embroidered fabric depicts the unity between man and bird through the delicate medium of thread. The stitched lines intertwine a bird and a human face, symbolizing connection and transformation. The technique of embroidery, a time-intensive and intimate process, emphasizes intentionality and care. By merging both living beings, this work reflects our shared instinct, freedom, and fragility within the natural world. Very last minute. Yeah, don't worry too much on what to put on your portfolio as long as it has a range and it has technique. Next, this was made with acrylic. This is one of my earliest pieces. It's called The Silent Harvest, made in, it says 2025. Whoops, but it was actually made in 2024. Acrylic paint on canvas. Wait, was it made in 2024? I'm not sure. It's 2026 right now, so I'm out of it, you know. I can't keep track of time. Okay, A Silent Harvest symbolizes the exploitation of wild oysters for pearls, which exposes the environmental disasters caused by human greed. It is inspired by Ayata Kano's Girl in a Shrimp sketch with watercolor and Husna Konuk's fetal position in oil paint. The painting resembles a grown woman curled inside an oyster in a fetal position, holding a pearl from her core. It portrays the fragile connection between humanity and marine life. There are hints of surrealism and fragile yet disturbing imagery. This piece forces the viewer to reflect on the cost of luxury and the vulnerability of our ecosystems. This was about ocean pollution, pearls, overfishing. Yeah. I just like the composition. I like the fact that it shows a different kind of style. It's more surreal. It's more like, not abstract, but I would definitely say less realistic. And I like the shell. I like the composition, the fact that it's a central composition that kind of made it for me. I wanted to add something like that. And yeah, it just shows different skills. The last one, this is a still life because I haven't added any still lives. And I thought that this was necessary. So yeah, title is Material Girl, made in 2025 this summer. And it is oil paint on canvas. Let's read it. A monochrome still life piece that reimagines self-portraiture. The composition features items like a hair clip, perfume, sunglasses, a sweater, a sneaker, a teddy bear to reveal fragments of myself, a teenage girl, showing how objects can act as an extension of someone's personality. Yeah, they're really simple. Honestly, this was a still life I had to do in summer. Nothing special, just generally like to show that I can do a still life, to show skills, to show that I can draw objects and lighting, especially in the glasses. That's pretty much it, guys. That's my portfolio. I don't have much to say. Key takeaways of this are, use different styles, explore different styles, different techniques, different skills, use different mediums, because the key to a portfolio is variety. So different mediums, monochrome and colorful, so black, white, and also colorful, so you can show that you can work with lighting, you can work with colors, you can do all kinds of different layouts, compositional variety, animals, people, buildings, objects. Yeah. I would also recommend, this is from seeing other people's portfolios, a piece that shows movement or like fluidity, and also kind of try to follow a certain theme, but don't make it like the only theme that you're using. So for example, my theme was pretty much connections to animals and nature, connections to ourselves, relation to ourselves, like how do we see each other, how do we see ourselves, how do we see our environment. Yeah, do with that what you will. I hope this video helped you, because I sure as hell needed to watch videos on YouTube about portfolios before making mine, because I was really stressed out. I hope that you have learned something, and I hope that you have enjoyed my portfolio pieces and my portfolio video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!